On property biosecurity is one of the big issues that we encounter on the north coast here, where people bring livestock in. They may have cattle tick on them, and if they're not detected straight away, the herd can be infected within months and spread onto the neighbouring properties. The Meat and Livestock Association of Australia have given figures on the cost of cattle tick annually to Australia, and it reaches in the vicinity of $160 million a year. The state of New South Wales, if it wasn't controlled at this stage, would be about $30 million a year. There's three main ticks that you'll encounter on the north coast and throughout New South Wales. You've got the paralysis tick, the bush tick, and the cattle tick. Now, the cattle tick is the only tick that'll stay on the host, which is the cattle, for 21 days, the full life cycle, until they drop off and lay the eggs. Each female that drops off the cattle in a sitting lays 3,000 eggs, up to 3,000 eggs in the 21 days. So you can see the population can explode, whereas they're completely different to the other ticks that drop off and reattach every 7 days. So when cattle ticks get in numbers, they get in really big numbers. They cause them. One of the things they do, besides the disease of transmitting the disease of tick fever with the organism that gets into the blood, is they can cause a lot of blood loss. So the cattle can get anemic and get really sick if they're not under control. It's something where people need to keep an eye on cattle. If they see cattle, the common thing for tick fever is known as red water. Red water is when they'll actually see blood in the urine, symptoms like that, nausea, they run a fever, get the vet out. The vet will usually pick out that there's symptoms of tick fever, and that's when you've got to find out that you might have a population of ticks that have tick fever in their system, and it can be they've transmitted from one beast to another. Not all ticks have tick fever, cattle ticks, but when they do get tick fever in their system, a small percentage of their offspring carry the tick fever virus, and then they'll get onto cattle, and that's when it starts to take off. Yeah, livestock movements are a big thing on the north coast. We have incursions from Queensland. If those cattle are moved on various properties without tracing, it's a bit like any disease. You don't know where it's got to until it's too late. The NLI system, National Livestock Identification System, is one that we use to trace livestock as well as property investigations. One of the biggest things with bringing livestock onto a property is that if you can quarantine them for the first month, not just for cattle tick, but for weeds and all sorts of other things. That's the big biosecurity plan in most places on the north coast. It's something that we encourage out there with livestock. We've got a mob of cattle in the yards here now. These are fairly fine coated. There's a little bit of they're Angus and Angus cross mostly. The main parts of these cattle that we examine, if we put them through a crush system, will be around the tail butt and down along the back, between the back legs, is known as the escutcheon area, and up in the flank roll just in front of the back legs there. You'll notice that the flank down near the back leg is a part that we actually roll the flank line out, and it exposes cattle tick if there's any on there. That's the main three parts. Down along the front of the brisket is an area that often picks up visually from this end here. We could do what is known as a visual examination, looking through in the pens. Normally we'd take these cattle and put them up the crush, which is over here. It's a race system where we push the cattle up into a herringbone sort of a style, and then we can examine really closely without too much danger areas up in between the back legs and the flank and up around the tail butt, neck. There's other sites besides those main three sites. That way you can get a good look at the ticks. Most of our controls are chemicals. There is non-chemical control where you can isolate cattle, treat them off onto a property, and then isolate and just sort of vacate a paddock. The cattle ticks known to live in ideal conditions up to 8.5 months without attaching to a beast before they die. So most of our programs go for about 9 months at the minimum. 13 chemical treatments every 21 days will normally knock out a population of cattle tick if in that same paddock. The cattle become the vacuum cleaner for the paddock. What doesn't get onto that beast in that cycle will actually die out within 9 months. On the north coast here, probably 6 months would do the job. In the tropics of Queensland, ideal conditions, you can probably get up in that 8-month business. But that's the best way to control cattle ticks is biosecurity, and then chemical treatment is the only real way to get rid of a population unless you vacate properties. Yeah, the big thing with treating these animals is knowing your withholding periods that you've got to declare, because it is a product in the food chain, and you want your dollar when you send them to market. You don't want to be knocked on the head. Meatworks can send what they call put them down the chute if they showing any residues. Yeah, that's about where you've got to go with your quality assurance with cattle.
Many farmers and students out there on farms will be aware of the need to produce a farm biosecurity plan. So, not being specifically mandated as a requirement for a farm, it's absolutely essential in terms of best practice farming. By spending the time to design a farm biosecurity plan which has the intent to control the movement of livestock, plant material, people, vehicles, and also the practices on farm that might influence the surrounding area. A typical farm biosecurity plan would start with a visitor's entry gate, which we'll show you at the front of the building, and a sign-on procedure. So those entry and exit gates are really important. They're usually also associated with a decontamination point to be able to make sure that any materials that are coming on site can be inspected and decontaminated, or in the case of livestock, treated. Here we are at the Department of Primary Industries Wollongbar Institute, and we've got this well signposted there, which is part of the biosecurity plan, so that people understand they're coming onto a site that has a biosecurity plan. There's a cattle grate right here which functions to prevent livestock exiting the property or in some sense entering. There's a boom gate system down there which is controlled by the office or by a code for visitors on and off site the property. And we've also got signage that is a part of a strong biosecurity plan, and that will identify the property, who to contact in situations requiring an emergency plan. And also as part of this protocol would be the sign-in procedures down at the office there to identify visitors and the records of people who've been coming on and off and for what purpose.